this wasn't going to be a pleasant review, but after watching this film, not once, but twice, okay, well, 1.5, I've had to sew this smile on my face to keep from killing those involved. Oh, hang on. I need the appropriate makeup for this.
Why so serious?
Never mind. That's more work than I'm willing to do at the moment. My face hurts already. When I first watched this film, my notes were mostly descriptive, because I spent the vast majority of the film baffled and awestruck by this painfully bad movie. The second time I tried to watch it was to see if I could find something to make fun of, without gaping at the screen like a mindless idiot. Because it is, to my understanding, that's what the writers and creators did to make this film. What's sad is that mindlessness is much more intellectual and well-constructed than this. I couldn't bear to watch this shit twice. I became way too uninterested and angry. The Addams Family first aired in the 1960s and has been a beloved TV family ever since. We have a gothic family with polar opposite beliefs on how to raise children and how to act in society. Often it is silly and animated, but this pushes that off of the fucking cliff. It's one thing for me to be tormented by something that I have absolutely no interest in, like High School Musical, but to take something that has been passed down to my generation, and hopefully preceding generations, and push so much insanity and zany antics down our throats that it becomes unbearable to watch, then you've hit an all-time low. This movie is one level away from somebody throwing a fucking pie in somebody's face. I mean, it feels more like the fucking Three Stooges than it does the Addams Family. They were not meant to be the Three Stooges. That kind of calamity is appropriate for the Three Stooges. It's expected. But this... no! You have destroyed my insides. Every time I heard that song as a child... my butt was placed directly in front of the TV. Now I wish to impale myself.
I put babies on spikes. Do you want a rack of babies? We got babies on racks.
Yeah, something to that effect. I guess I don't need a final verdict now, because that's pretty much it. So... let's take a look at this putrid piece of a horse's ass. We open with the mailman.
Scram! Get onto there! Get on!
Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen.
You want a piece of me, bird? Huh? Come and get it! I'm a postal worker!
Those postal workers roll hardcore, dog.
Big whoop, want to fight about it?
Cause bird shit is funny! Dude, you do realize that you're afraid of a fucking mailbox, right? I'd walk up to it and pet it while saying, "Who's a good little mailbox?" You are! Would you like some yummy mail, Mr. Mailbox? Ooh, he has such an exotic name. Gene Simmons has nothing on this tongue. Nothing. Your reactions are totally believable. am so engrossed into your character. I'm amazed by the way you move your face so over-animatedly. And I'm shocked that I've never heard of you. Ever. Once the mailman thinks he's in the clear, he finds himself pinned to the ground. Come to find out that Wednesday and Pugsley are playing with the mailman.
First one to score a bullseye gets to drive the mail truck.
Before a spiky missile, that's just what I'm gonna call him, goes through his head, he's saved by Gomez. Oh, Tim Curry. I love you so much, but no. Just no. And before we get into this review, whose brilliant idea was it to cast Dr. Frankenfurter for this film? Sweet Jesus.
There's someone.
Just a way different than our own.
No!
I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
Son of a bitch! Hey! Are those the rapist vines from The Evil Dead? I think it is! It's funny because he's kidnapped and probably murdered another mailman. I'm sure the mailman probably doesn't have any family at all that would miss him. It's funny because Lurch obviously can't play and the notes are making the glass break. So Gomez receives a book which encases a list of every Addams to ever exist. I know, I got excited and immediately purchased a copy of the book with every member of my family in it. Oh, Luna Madness. You murdered so many people. But you're so darn cute. Because of this book, Gomez calls for a family meeting. This is where we finally see Fester, who is not played by Christopher Lloyd. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't care because he sucks. I am in pain and would also like to inflict pain on him for this abortion of a film.
You know, Pugsley's birthday's coming up. Well, what does every little boy need? That's right! A vicious attack dog!
I can easily dropkick over my back fence. Not a dog. It's a yapping beanie baby, that's what that is.
So they decide to try and find long-lost relatives. Then Gomez and Fester's grandparents decide to pay a visit. It's a funeral hearse.
I hate dolls. And I resent the fact that they still see me as a child.
What a poorly delivered line. Because tearing off the dolls' heads wasn't enough. No, you had to blatantly explain why you did so. Weird remarks from the grandparents pretty much stop everyone in their tracks.
Our only wish is that they grow up to be honest, respectable, and adjusted members of society. Anyone here catch the score of today's Yankee game?
Okay. Bizarre. And that night, Morticia and Gomez lie in bed while they get their rocks off, fantasizing about old age.
We writhe in bitter agony until our lives finally draw to a close with a disquieting Oh, I'm so glad they came to stay with us for a while.
Well, at least they aren't shitting on each other and then eating it. In the days to come, it appears that the grandparents are acting out of the ordinary. Oh my god! Martha Stewart has possessed them! Where's my friggin' holy water? Be gone, Satan! I knew she was a devil!
I said tomato.
I bet Pugsley and Wednesday wouldn't mind the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy.
You think girls can't play baseball, huh? Not a lick. Yeah? Pitch me the ball and we'll see.
Come to think of it, I wouldn't mind the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy at this point.
You don't have a bat! Femur.
What? I'm kind of using it.
Did I ask for a femur or some lip?
Okay.
After doing some reading, they discovered that the grandparents have a condition that is sort of a reverse of Alzheimer's disease. Tim Curry has a moment that's more like he's in a Shakespearean play than the Addams Family.
This sorrow is so much more than I can bear. Is there nothing to ease the unspeakable sadness that fills my heart?
Curry, darling, you are an insanely talented man. You've done Shakespeare. It says so on your Internet Movie Database profile. But it's not a good idea to give a performance that's reminiscent of your better work.
The people at Family Tree Publishing have sent us this impersonal, computerized invitation.
Those truly bring me the most honor. Fuck handwritten. That is so 1980s. So Gomez rationalizes that attending the family reunion may help with their ailing grandparents, believing that someone in the family may have dealt with this before.
Gomez, shouldn't we first call an RSVP?
And ruin the surprise.
Who are you talking to? Morticia looked up. Hello, she's not over there.
You're sleeping in a Louis Vuitton body bag. Body bag.
Roadmap, chainsaw, scalpel, rib spreader. Everything is in order.
That's the Addams for ya.
How did Boris Yeltsin get invited to the Al-Anon dinner?
Oh no, there's been a mix-up at the reunion arranging place? What sitcom like antics will unfold? I feel like from this point on, there needs to be a laugh track every time something is supposed to be funny.
They spelled Addams with only one D.
I don't know what could possibly go wrong.
You would think that a company dealing in matters of family heritage would at least spell our name right.
You would think that they would run the business better after you sent them a $5,000 check. So they arrive at the resort and tour while the grandparents continue to discuss the Addams. And me.
Give it a chance. A resort this size is sure to have plenty of skeletons in its closet.
I don't see any skeletons. Spoil sport.
Yes?
It's a good thing they aren't actually related and this was just an error. Otherwise, this would be so very wrong. Awkwardness ensues.
I'm Dolores, and I've just been dying to meet you.
Likewise, of course.
Never know who you'll be taking up next.
You've no idea how often we have uttered exactly the same words.
I've been helping with the reunion arrangements for my husband's family for several years. Philip is a leading psychiatrist.
A witch doctor.
Perhaps your children should meet my little ones.
What the fuck is wrong with this woman? Is she convulsing or having a seizure? Philip goes to refill his drink and we meet his sister. I don't remember her name. I don't care. They both assume that the Addams are after their inheritance, and they also ponder where their youngest brother Jeff and his wife are.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain. But if the plural of mouse is mice, wouldn't the plural of spouse be spice?
Apparently, Jeff and his wife ended up at the Addams house rather than the resort. Morticia and the kids socialize.
Caviar, madam.
No, thank you. I prefer to wait for the larval stage. You think I'm particular?
While Jeff and his wife try and change a tire and then give up and just head to the mansion. Really? Because it ruined her pretty little shoes? I'd tell her, bitch, you either stay in the car or you start walking. Because unless she's hurt or has been walking for hours, it's not necessary to carry her lazy ass. I want that doorbell. Gimme. Gimme. She looks like a blonde Posh Spice. Philip and his sister argue about money, and it's revealed that he's been poisoning their father. More socializing occurs.
Anything to halt this dangerous progression.
Personally, I recommend strychnine.
But what sort of grandson do you presume me to be? You think I haven't tried that already?
If you're wondering who's saying drink repeatedly in the background, why, that would be the poisoned father, played by none other than Ray Walston, who appeared in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, My Favorite Martian, House Arrest, The Stand, and TV shows like Picket Fences, Star Trek Next Generation, Ally McBeal, and Seventh Heaven. He passed away in 2001. Such a distinguished actor, and he gets to say drink over and over again. Isn't that fantastic? Whoa! Too close!
Too close. A little too close. There.
We get it. She has a ball of death. You don't have to shove it in our face. Literally.
Dad says that Wednesday inherited his athletic genes, but I inherited his spastic colon.
Gomez begs Philip to look over his grandparents. They end up in what can only be compared to two male siblings massaging their own egos by competing against each other in an attempt to see who is truly better than the other. And in this movie's case, who can overact? Painfully overact. Philip, being the schmuck that he is, refuses to put his ego aside and continues to lose in games with Gomez.
Ooh, 10,000 again?
10,000 of my money against your medical specialty services.
Et voilà.
How about tennis? Triple or nothing.
It seems Philip's children inherited the same sense of pride, since they're constantly trying to bully Wednesday and Pugsley by bragging about their ancestry and calling them really stupid names.
Our ancestors stayed all the way back to the second president of the United States, John Quincy Adams. Out of the way, blockhead. You losers are toast.
I never in a million years wanted to be anywhere near that guy's balls. Thank you. Taking a break from the Aristobrats, Wednesday and Pugsley decide to amuse themselves with nitroglycerin.
Prepare to die, you fool.
How about you do that instead? Seeing how you're the one who picked the nitro-filled ball. So kids play piñata. Jeff and his wife try to sleep.
Can't you at least turn up the electric blanket some more?
I did. I turned this thing all the way up. You probably doesn't have the stupid thing plugged in. Oh, the floor's soaking wet in here.
You're a fucking idiot. And you deserve what is obviously coming. Back with the kids, only now Philip's son is the piñata. I can't remember his name. And, once again, I don't care. None of these people are remotely likable. Lurch sleepwalks, and oh yeah, Philip's sister got hit in the head, fell into the pool where Lurch saved her and gave her mouth to mouth, cause apparently the on-duty lifeguard is fucking useless. So she's brushing her teeth. By the way, I just remembered, if you're wondering where Fester is, he and his dog, Butcher, were hiding out in the wine room. Butcher got hungry, but he only eats human hair. So Fester leaves him, gets some hair, and when he returns, Butcher is gone. So he spent the vast majority of this film looking for the stupid dog.
Had to dance.
Finally, something decent after that horrific conga line.
Oh, you went with me, so smooth, so cool. You wish you could be so swimming with your mouth up and white. Romance and passion come from inside.
How the hell do you ruin their dance sequence? God, movie, you disgust me.
Oh, I look like a poodle.
No. Poodles are more aesthetically pleasing than you. You look more like a Shar-Pei.
Good boy.
What incredible CGI! I mean, wow!
Come on back here. I'm coming, boy!
Please shut up. Out of nowhere, Philip appears. I was wondering where he went. Angry that Gomez defeated him repeatedly. God, dude, just give it up already. You're only embarrassing yourself more. Chaos ensues. We need the appropriate music for this debacle. Are arrested, sure, blame the goth people. Thing is mistaken for Butcher and snatched up by the dog catcher Wednesday and Pugsley, whom were grave digging during the dance sequence and whatever. I don't care anymore. They also put Lurch in the grave. They're taken by Child Protective Services, where they're examined and I'm sorry. What the fuck? How can you have this in the background and expect us to be paying attention to what's going on in the foreground? I mean, they just look ridiculous! They're taken in by Seizure Lady. Oh, and the grandparents aren't detained because...
You with them?
No, they're normal.
There's no such thing as normal, and even if there were, my dear, you are definitely not it. I can't imagine randomly convulsing mid-sentence would be viewed as normal. Fester is tormented by Philip.
I demand a reunion, dear one. A reunion, nothing less. We must tear down these walls, rip apart our shackles, even if we die violently in the attempt.
You're free. Okay, that works for me too.
Turns out they're bailed out by Walter, the father of Philip, whom actually gave a really awesome speech at the dinner.
You people have been dragging me out to these family reunions. Now I only have one thing left to say, and I say it to all of you. You make me sick. You're nothing but a bunch of lazy, worthless freeloaders. I'd rather see you all roasting in the deepest pits of hell.
And can rock a mohawk that was given to him by... I mean, how many old guys can honestly rock a mohawk like that? I don't even think Clint Eastwood could. Gomez and Walter figure out that Lurch was buried at the resort. Pugsley on Wednesday play with the Aristocrats. Oh, I love these kids. These two are my kind of kids. That is awesome. Gomez and Morticia free Fester and then proceed to strap Philip to the chair with the remote in the hands of Philip's patients. They get the kids, Jeff and his wife hijack the mail truck, and end up through the window of the reunion arrangement place. The grandparents end up living with Dolores and the Aristocrats.
I still don't understand what is keeping Philip so late at the office.
Really? You mean to tell me there isn't at least one other doctor nearby whom could come to his rescue? No one at his work noticed where he was? The Addams celebrate being back together, I guess. The end. I really don't think I need to give a final verdict for this one, since I pretty much opened this review on a rant. Do I recommend this film? Only if you're a masochist or you're a sadist wanting to torture someone else with this abortion of a film. I'm going to curl up and die now. Sweet alcoholic joy. You will numb all of my sorrows, won't you? Or perhaps after this drink I'll go and impale myself on the spikes that were mentioned earlier in the review.
I put babies on spikes. Do you want a rack of babies? We got babies on racks.
Yeah. That. You taste better on ice. This has been the final October Spookfest review of this year. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't. Until next time. Bye.
They're creepy and they're spooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together spooky, the Addams family. Their house is a museum where people come to see them. They really are a scream. The